Suicide Squad movie.
It's a kid's book. That isn't even the Harley Quinn that we know in the comics or anything.
It's not the same in continuity.
Right. Yeah, it is a first appearance, but it is a junk book. It's not readable unless you're 12.
How you feeling, by the way? You sound like shit.
Yeah. Well,
But why are you here?
it's new book day. Have to be here today.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. Any other day, maybe not. You know, it's
You sound like shit, but you look good.
Yeah, I didn't come in Monday, and Tuesday I was glad my wife was here. She's the reason why all these books were filed because I probably would have just dropped partway through. She did most of the work. On Tuesday for me. You know, it's thank God she was off. She was here because
cool.
I may still be in a fetal position right here.
There's a good buzz about it in the community. There's 60 booths of comics and art, and it's surrounded like a horseshoe by 35 booths of artists. And good artists, like great artists. Al Milgrom, Matt DeMacy, the guy that does the Shattered variants. It's what I remember Comic Cons used to be. It's the basement of the hotel. It's comics and art. And you know, I think they've morphed into more of a pop culture con now, which is fine. I mean, there's something for everybody. There's a con every weekend, it seems, in New England, and I'm going to most of them because I think they're great. You know, as a comic collector, they're great, and it's fun for the family. But for me, this is just about the comics. This is comic books, original art, and artists. That's it. Yeah, I think I'm fortunate. You know, the last couple of years, I've been fortunate to meet a lot of great people in the industry. We got to go down and take a tour of the Jeppy Museum and stop at the Secret Stash. I spent an afternoon with Frank Miller and an afternoon with Al Milgrom at his house. It's just, last couple of years have been crazy. And I got the opportunity to get this arena, and the pieces just kind of fell into place. I reached out to people that I've met over the last couple of years, and like I said, it kind of resonated with a lot of people. And here we are. You know, I've worked hard to promote the artists and the vendors.
I think people who cosplay and they do some of that stuff, I mean, they got some really artistic talent to the costumes they put away, but they're in the way. I mean, you know, and
they're in the way from my agenda.
I'm there to look at comic books, right?
Totally.
And when they're in the aisle, so you can't even move to look at somebody's comics. I mean, it sucks for the vendor. And then it also sucks for you who's trying to look through books because everyone's stubborn. I mean, have a section for them.
I hear you. Like I said, I'm a comic guy, man, and this is just all about the comics.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome. Wear whatever you want, but
get out of the way.
I got nothing for you.
You get nothing.
When I used to go to the comic shows in Boston, I think it was at the Park Plaza Hotel. There was like 3 rooms in the hotel, and pretty much all it was comics and bootleg anime and stuff and stuff like that. They would bring in one artist to come in and do sketches and autograph audio for free. It was pretty much comics and comics only, and again videos, and those were the shows. And once they just started expanding more and more, and they started bringing in TV actors and movie actors,
it's not
a Comic Con anymore. Back in the day in Boston, I was doing my Amazing Spider-Man collection, putting it together. And this guy from New York came every year. He used to have like 6 tables every month. Every month it was there, he had like 6 tables, and he was a guy that had the most Silver Age stuff that you could find. And people still wanted Silver Age even then. I mean, but it wasn't like people talk about Silver Age now. I mean, we're talking 30 years even later. So you could buy a good copy of Amazing Fantasy 15. You could find it for, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500, right? I had $2,000 on me. I went in with intention to buy a big book that I needed for the collection. He had an awesome, but he had no price on it. So I go, well, how much is that? And he goes, this is $6,000. And thank you. And he goes, this is $6,000. And I go, I can't afford $6,000. Whatever. He goes, well, then why am I even bothering this with you? The guy was a dick. I go, look. Do you have a lesser grade? He goes, I don't bring that stuff. That's at my that's in New York. I don't have that stuff. I don't bring that stuff. I just bring the good shit. And I says, well, you know something? I don't want anything from you. I have $2,000 on me. You could have had all this money, but you're a dick. And that was the end of that. I ended up getting my Amazing Fantasy 15 later, but I mean, it was still though.
Yeah.
Why you gotta be a jerk like that? I mean,
like that out there, man.
Yeah. You all set, bud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bryan Singer would have had a better
would have been better for him if instead he could have just stayed for X-Men 3, and things would have been better for one franchise, then he wouldn't have to do anything have anything to do with Superman Returns.
I think he just wanted Superman because Superman's the best character.
Skip's been reading it for about 10, 12 years. He's been coming here since I opened up in '93.
More than that.
I'm just saying, X-Men 3 might have been a little bit better if, he didn't let Brett Ratner come in and he just and Bryan Singer just took over the job for X-Men 3. I would argue that Bryan Singer had more of an expertise on the franchise than Brett Ratner did.
I was very active as a kid from like 91, 92, 93. I was reading lots of comics. And then
Whatever.
I probably got more into it around 2009. So this was sort of in a blind spot for me. This Emma Frost from 2004 was totally not on my radar. I wasn't reading comics much at the time. So it's sort of just like discovering an old group from the 80s or 70s that you think is awesome that was just not on your radar when it was contemporary. I think every franchise now is doing two things. They're doing the mainstream thing and the sort of niche, more original thing. I think they're doing it with Star Wars. I think all the main arc, everything with Luke Skywalker and What's-Her-Face, I think is going to suck forever. And I think the peripheral ones they do, like Rogue Squadron, Han Solo will be good. And I think the same thing's true with Marvel this year. I think Ant-Man's going to be awesome. I know Deadpool's going to be awesome. And I think Avengers, I think it's going to be more of the same problem they had in 2. I think they're going to try to pack in they're going to try to show us 40 characters in 2.5 hours, and I don't think it's going to work, because I don't think you can really show 40 characters in 2.5 hours. I'm not a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan, so like to me, this moment of the Guardians of the Galaxy meeting, Spider-Man and whoever else, I'm not looking forward to that. And since we're talking about that, I didn't think Homecoming was all that, honestly. Spider-Man's power array is like perfect the way it is in 1967 or whatever. Spider-Man doesn't have infrared vision given by Tony Stark or all these different modes on his suit. That's not the Spider-Man I know. I'm not saying he's never done that in a comic, but that's not like quintessential Spider-Man to me. I like Spider-Man 2 with what's-his-face. I think that's the best Spider-Man movie that's been made. I never saw Batman vs. Superman. I saw the first half of Wonder Woman, and it was fine for what it was. I can see a lot of people who aren't even into comics who would like Dark Knight, Yeah, they'll never beat that. I don't like Affleck. I've never seen it.
Don't be criticizing my shit.
I'm just wondering what it is.
Don't be criticizing my
Miss
shit.
Marvel.
What is the idea behind
You
that?
gotta touch my books, bro.
All right.
Is Miss Marvel related to Captain Marvel?
No, she's in the human now.
Is Shazam related to Captain Marvel?
I don't read DC except for Batman.
I saw the.
Caught up on Spider-Man.
I saw the. I saw the.
I hate Carnage, so I hate.
You don't like the storyline?
Yep.
No, I hate Carnage. I've never liked Carnage ever since he first came out. I hated him.
It came out in the 90s, right?
Early 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then
I
they
used to like Venom too back when it was Eddie Brock, the evil Venom. But now he's anti-hero Venom. I can't stand him.
Well, now it's. Didn't they make the mixture of Venom and Carnage? I think it was like. I thought it was like there was like. Yeah, but every time a new Spider-Man comes around, what do? They always start with the origins.
That's why the last Spider-Man series sucked.
Spider-Man, the original Sam Raimi movies, they made it to 3 movies. The Amazing Spider-Man didn't even make it to 3 movies. They made it to 2.
They're supposed to make 4, the original.
Yeah, and then they said, nah, Sam Raimi, we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna move on. Biggest mistake. I would argue. Yeah. And now Spider-Man had to get rebooted twice. Twice.
That's okay.
In like a 4 or 5 year span.
Still makes money.
All right. And at the very least, with the other Fantastic Four movies, the first one, The Silver Surfer, at least they actually did something crime-wise, like, they did the city thing. This was just like, the Fan Four Stick to me, the new Fantastic Four movie, to me it felt like, near the end of it, I was like, okay, this is the beginning, but this is where things really start, and nothing really happened. The whole movie was just in the lab. Hopefully now that Marvel has, now that Disney has 20th Century Fox, maybe, just maybe, we could finally get like a really, really good one.
I didn't think it was terrible.
I didn't think it was terrible either.
Human Torch acted like Human Torch.
I didn't like it. I didn't mind it that much. at least the Human Torch in the other movies, he was kind of rebellious and he did something. I felt like Michael B. Jordan played Human Torch. I felt nothing. Which is a shame because eventually but now he's in a Marvel movie where he's in Black Panther and he does great. So it's like it has to be the direction.
Thank you, sir.
What do we have here?
We have all of the variants.
Thank you, sir.
Nope.
Look at all these. Oh, man. What a good day, Glenn. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one.
Don't get any funny ideas, buddy.
Let me get the greasiest thing you have, and we're just gonna start.
The whole bag is. Thanks, Glenn. I appreciate it,
No
buddy.
problem.
I saw your car. I thought that was your car. I was like, is that Ryan's car? I was like, let me go in there before he throws Glenn his wallet. Makes him all sorts
I'm
of.
gonna throw Glenn more than that.
Oh. Let's see his head moving over.
Do you still want to fight?
He already had his wet noodles today.
All right, let's go. We'll do it on camera too, so it's all documented. You just said you were sick and you could still kick my ass.
Yeah.
Okay, so no excuses.
Right, so come on over. I'm not getting out of the chair, though. I'm fighting you in the chair.
What is that going to make me look like when I beat up a guy who's sick in a chair?
It won't happen, so it's going to make you look like the vagina that couldn't beat up a sick guy in a chair.
Okay.
I am so stoked. Look at that. Look at that. What a good day. I guarantee you if I try to find these in other stores, no, they'll laugh at me. Or if not, they have it hung up. You can't touch it. You can't grab it. You can't ask them about it. I'm not interested in their worth. I'm interested in their sentimental worth to me. So, years from now, I'll be able to look back and say, look, I got issue 1000, all of them in my collection. So, this is good.
I've been rewatching all the Marvel movies.
Why don't you go for the 31-hour?
No, I'm not
Hell
doing
no.
that. I'm not doing that.
Fuck that.
I'm not. I'd rather watch it in the comfort of my own home.
Buck-ass naked.
Yeah. Buck ass naked.
Buck ass
Shades
naked.
down, though,
In the
because
nudes.
No, fuck that. Shades are open. They're looking in. Hey, it's your own fault for looking in my windows. So.
even his girlfriend's going, just put some clothes on, please.
But
There's a reason why I have the lights out at night when we do it.
at least I can still get it up.
I have no
my
problem with
God.
that. Just not up for long.
The Tic Tac doesn't take much blood to get that thing out, does it?
Not at all.
Let's face the truth. All three of us haven't seen our dicks in 3 years.
I just use a mirror. Or like Alex, white Alex, taking pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, he sends nudes?
Oh yeah, he's terrible.
Oh, boy.
White Alex, if you're watching this, I still think you're horrible.
And boring.
And boring. Yes, the people are right, you're boring.
Which one is that guy? Which one's that
White
one?
Alex.
White Alex.
You're brown
You
Alex.
were-
I'm Brown Alex.
I remember White Alex was here. That's the reason why we called you Brown Alex, because there was two Alexes
Oh,
here
okay,
that
I know what
day.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't just call you brown Alex because we're closet racist.
Right.
I mean, we
No, we called you.
Hey.
I mean, we are,
We
but
called you Brown Alex because
I
we
don't-
weren't sure we could
Well, it's,
differentiate which
you
one
know
was
what
who.
it is, though? Like, it's truth. It's the truth. It's facts.
You were on the same show together, so we had to,
Yeah.
because they may not have been able to figure out which Alex was which. So
Because who uses last names?
right.
No, I liked Black Panther, but I don't think it's as great as everybody says it is.
No.
It's middle of the road for me, middle of the pack.
B minus.
It's with like Age of Ultron,
Yep. Civil War.
Civil War's
Civil War's a little
Civil
bit better.
War.
I like Civil War.
Like
a little
Iron Man 2.
Yep.
It's like down in
But it
that
wasn't with
area.
Iron Man, like Iron Man 1,
No.
Avengers 1.
Nope.
No,
Guardians
no,
of the
no.
Galaxy.
Winter
No,
Soldier.
No,
Yeah,
Winter Soldier's my favorite. No,
Winter
it's not
Soldier.
up there.
I made it through Ant-Man last night, so I'm up through Ant-Man, and I've been keeping track of the new list of which ones I like the best. And Winter Soldier just squeaks by Guardians of the Galaxy as my favorite.
Yep.
I really like
Yeah,
Ant-Man.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I like that, man. I haven't felt like I want to rewatch it like
Yeah,
I watch
yeah.
Guardians all the time and stuff, you know?
First time. Last night was the first time I've rewatched Ant-Man since I saw it in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, in that defense, then
Yeah.
okay, everything came back.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Winter Soldier's mine. That movie is amazing.
Well, I have to put
It's
Ghost
so
Rider there near the top, too, right?
Ghost Rider? Really? Oh my god.
Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
Just leave. Just go.
I've been kicked out of my own store.
Like that second
World?
Thor movie.
Second one.
Oh my god, it's bad.
I think it's down towards the bottom.
It's really not good.
I think Raiders like the worst.
Well, that's the only reason
Every
why I've
movie
only
is the
watched
worst.
Thor
Thor 1 and 2. I've only watched it the one time that I saw it. Didn't dislike it. I said that was a good movie, but I've never rewatched them. Had no interest in rewatching them. But Thor Ragnarok, I'll watch again. It was fun. You had the drama of the action of an action film, but you had some comedy and you had some good music to go with it. I mean, who doesn't like to watch someone stomp the shit out of someone to AC/DC? You know, it's.
But Infinity War is gonna be. That movie's gonna be. It's gonna be really good. I can't wait.
This is like the thing you've been the most excited for. You've been talking about it for months. You know, Infinity War. You know,
if I get disappointed at that point, there's nothing I can do because they already have my money. You know what I mean? I already bought the tickets.
But you know something though? That's just gonna crush your world.
It's
gonna be like breaking up with somebody after 10 years.
Yeah.
Shit, why'd you put it that way?
Yeah.
Damn. Now I'm gonna. Yeah.
It's gonna crush you because.
So I'm putting a lot of faith into it because the Russo brothers, when did the Winter Soldier together. So that's.
Did they do Civil War too?
I think one of them did. I don't think both of them did.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it was one of them.
The other
Yeah.
brother was doing something
Yeah.
else.
So both of them together.
He's in rehab or something.
But both of them together, and you know, and this film is going to be great because they both have proof. Civil War is the best one out of all of them.
They're falling out.
Winter Soldiers.
Like I'm there.
Yeah. So it's going to be really, really good.
Like, I remember the first time I saw Guardians, I was like, I gotta go back. I want to
Yes,
see that again.
same here.
Like, I want to see that again, like right now.
Thank you.
You know, I went to Guardians on the third day after it opened. I had never been that.
Really?
I had never been to. I'd never been to a movie
I know,
that
I
early in
remember
so
you
long.
being like really excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It opened on a Friday. Yeah, I went on a Monday.
On Monday, nice.
Yeah,
There you go.
I went on a Monday. Actually, went on a Monday and saw it. I hadn't been to a movie on opening night or that close opening night since Independence Day had come out in the '90s. Right? It's
Independence Day.
yeah.
Oh my God.
96.
96, man.
That was
Another
That was
classic.
the last time I went to a movie on opening day.
Yeah.
I think that was the last time I says that says, you know, I want to sit with a crowd of people. That was the last day I says. That's
you.
when I realized I don't like sitting with crowds of people
Yeah.
anymore. That was the last movie I had ever seen on opening night.
Who do you think is going to die?
Iron Man.
Yeah. America's going to. He dropped his shield, so he's not. He's Nomad. He becomes Nomad. He has the beard and everything. Nomad. But as far as, I mean, completely like, this person will not be in any other movie anymore. I think it's going to be probably Iron Man, Iron Patriot.
Yeah, but nobody cares about War Machine or Iron Patriot. Infinity War was supposed to be like in 2 parts.
Yeah.
This part was part 1, and then part 2 is next year.
Yep.
They
like that.
changed
They
it.
changed it.
So is this just one standalone movie?
The Russo brothers came out on Twitter.
So the one
last year
that comes out in May of 2019 or
It's the
April of
Avengers.
2019.
They said they're gonna announce the name of it soon, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Comic-Con this year.
I love what if stories.
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
I have, what do I have at home? I have a what if, the alien suit stayed on Peter Parker,
Yeah,
and it just like everything just goes wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. But I had another one. Oh, it was like Spider-Man killed the lizard.
Mhm.
Just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I had those, I was just like, man, I need to dig into a whole bunch of these.
Yeah, and I like the old ones. They've done some what ifs in the past few years, and they were all kind of based on something, and they weren't that good.
Yeah.
But the what ifs that were like this, where it was something different every single month.
Yeah.
Were just great stories.
Yeah, and like this, just like you said, when I saw that they're all tied into like major events.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, like I don't even know how like that event was. Like I need
Yeah.
to read the event first to actually get
Right.
like the big changes.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. I mean, those weren't that good either, though. And I read some of the events, and there was one of them that says, "Why are you even doing something? This event wasn't that good. Why are they doing a what if about it?" I wish the what if was, "What if this event never happened?" Yeah, you know. It
Yeah,
was,
like what if just like they
the world would have been a better place without the event. You know. It's,
Have you read Skyward yet?
it was interesting. It's worth. It's. I don't know how I feel about it. If I'm gonna say, "Hey, this is a must read. You have to read it." But it's definitely interesting to see where the next issue is going to go. So at the beginning, everything's normal. Then all of a sudden, gravity goes, and then it fast forwards. Then it fast forwards a few pages in to where they're all used to it. So this girl doesn't remember so she doesn't even remember what it's like not to have gravity. So she doesn't even know what it was like to live with gravity.
Interesting. I like the little pulley
20 years
system.
later, yeah. She's about to get robbed, so she pulls out a gun, and she pulls out a gun. Says no one uses gun anymore. You know what's gonna happen? That's right. She shoots the gun. It shoots her backwards, so they can't rob her. So yeah, she's using it as a propulsion system.
I like this Ghost Rider. What do you think of Robbie?
I don't really like him.
No. I wasn't too big into Ghost Rider in the beginning until they introduced him as the new Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't hate him. So I mean, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. But I'm still a Johnny Blaze, Dan Ketch Ghost Rider fan.
I got it.
But yeah, I mean, he's all right. The car's cool and stuff, but I do like the motorcycle, the whole.
I think the big thing with me is the artist. The guy that draws for Luther Strode.
Mm-hmm.
He drew it, and I love his art to begin with.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's real messy and everything, but I don't know. I like the fluid kind of nature of it. How it takes a whole page. I will admit, it's hard to keep track of what the hell is going on, but it's cool. I there was this one scene where he wraps someone up with a chain and then flips him over, and then it was showing the panel by panel but in the foreground it was actually showing the shadow of him flipping him.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that. I thought that was so sick.
Leonardo from YouTube comment, great episode as always. Glenn fired a lot of books. A lot of books I like. Would love to hear why he doesn't like Scott Snyder or Tom King's writing. I personally like their Batman runs, and they are one of DC's top-selling books. I might disagree with Glenn's opinion, but would like to hear it anyways. Well, Leonardo, I dislike Tom King. It started with his Vision. It's definitely not the Vision that I've read and have been reading forever. To start writing a book where he has a robotic family and it's all about family life, something, I'm not reading a superhero book for that. I read image books for stuff like that. Or go read Strangers in Paradise or something. Then is Mr. Miracle, another book. Mr. Miracle is the only character I pretty much like from the New Gods, all the New Gods, and this is nothing like what has been established. So maybe it's not Tom King's, it's Tom King's writing. It's what he's doing with characters that I've already known and I've liked. I get a lot of people who have never read a lot of Vision, never read a lot of Mr. Miracle. It's something new for them and they like it. But if you've been reading these characters for years like I have, it's not good, and that leads to Tom King's Batman. His stuff's been hit or miss. He's had some decent runs, and he's had some not so decent runs. And now the fact that someone now he's doing Catwoman and Bruce Wayne are getting married. Hey, let's go out on a double date. That's not what I'm reading Batman for. I'm reading Batman for Batman shit. I get it. You should have, on some things, what they do in their alternate lives should be a part of the book and whatnot. But there's just certain things that, especially with something like Catwoman and Batman, it's always been known that they've had a thing going. I don't need to see them getting married. We don't need to see double dates with Superman and Lois. It's just kind of ridiculous, kind of boring. That's why I've fired them. I love Batman. I still love Batman. So if Tom King leads the book, I'll start reading Batman again. With Batman being there, even with Scott Snyder, if you go back and read Scott Snyder's Detective Comics before the New 52 started, I would tell you that Scott Snyder was a god. His Detective Comics were phenomenal. Go back to he did a book by Image called Severed. What a great horror book that was. But now after he took over Batman, again, he had a few hits, some misses, but just a lot of inconsistencies. It seems like he builds up to a good story, but the payoff just ends up kind of being lackluster. So I think now Scott Snyder himself too is a little full of himself. Thinks, but people have fallen into liking some of his stuff. Read some of his earlier stuff and compare it to what he's doing now. His earlier stuff was a lot better. That's why I don't like Scott Snyder. And, well, I really don't think there's anything I like about Tom King at all. But with Scott Snyder, I'll still always try stuff by him because I've read his brilliance before. But I just think his works on the last Batman story, again, hit or miss. But there were a lot of misses. When you made Commissioner Gordon Batman, it's just ridiculous. That's why I'm done with them. But I mean, yeah, it still is one of the best-selling books. But Batman will always be one of DC's best-selling books. It doesn't matter who writes it; it's still Batman.